Almost every African country was colonized by the Europeans. Almost. But one nation stood its grounds, fought back many times, and never lost its independence. That nation is Ethiopia. How did Ethiopia resist when the strongest empires in Africa back then even failed and fell? Well, the answer lies in a mix of courage, unity, and legendary battle that shocked the world. First of all, let me give you three things why Ethiopia fought really hard and were able to master many tactics to fight against the Europeans and fought them back and won every battle they went toe-to-toe with the Europeans. First on the list, let me talk about the Battle of Adwa in 1896. Ethiopian forces led by the then Emperor Menelik II. He defeated the Italians in a stunning victory. It wasn't just a military win. It was a statement that Africa will not always bow down to. Many African countries are failing to recognize how Emperor Menelik II was able to use so many tactics to fight against the Italians at that time, and he won the battle. If every empire followed the procedure which Emperor Menelik II was using to fight against the Europeans, many African nations wouldn't be colonized by the Europeans at that time. So Ethiopia remained independent because they were able to fight back and fought really well. Now, the second thing is unity and strategy. Ethiopia has so many diverse ethnic groups, and the only way for them to fight really hard against the Europeans was to unite all these ethnic groups, make them one. The Italians, because they wanted to colonize Ethiopia, so they were trying to create hatred between these ethnic groups. But Emperor Menelik II saw it really fast and said no. When he sat down and allowed the Italians to dominate in his country or in his empire, he's going to bring war. His own people are going to fight, are going to even help the Italians to fight him back. So he quickly united all the ethnic groups in Ethiopia, make them one, and he said, I am going to lead you to fight against these white people. We don't want them to take our natural resources. We don't want them to take us into slavery. We want to be independent and stay on our land in peace. So what he did was to bring all his people together, armed them really well, taught them how to use modern day weapons to fight against the Italians. And they were able to conquer the Italians, and all the tactics the Italians brought on board to win the battle to help them colonize Ethiopia, it all failed. Emperor Menelik II was able to conquer them. Now they had more natural resources, and they were able to purchase or do or manufacture modern day weapons to fight them. So if you are an Italian soldier, and your country has given you a weapon which is very modern to fight them, they also have the same weapon. So now who is who? This was Ethiopia for you. Now the third thing I want to talk about is, which is more important, is a legacy of independence. While many African nations were fighting for freedom and independence, they were only able to do that just in the 20th century. They were only able to do that just in the 20th century. But Ethiopia remained independent, freedom, united for centuries. From 1st century up to 20th century, when African nations were fighting for independence, they were already independent. Until today, they still remain the only African country that was not colonized by the Europeans. How amazing this is. So this tells us that if you own your resources and you fail to protect your resources and you allow someone or an intruder step in to use rough tactics against you, he's going to win over you, and your resources is going to him forever. So Ethiopia has done really well. To this day, Ethiopia isn't just another country on the African map. It's a reminder that Africa has always had the power to resist, to fight, and to win. But many African countries failed to unite, resist, fight, and win. We gave in so easily, and now we are still battling poverty in many African nations. That is so bad. So tell me, do you think Ethiopia's victory at Aja in 1896 is Africa's proudest moment? Comment your thoughts and let me know what you think about it. Also subscribe if you want to hear more stories that prove Africa has always been powerful before. Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you in my next episode.